Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives.
I'll take you for a ride. I'm a garbage truck.
Anyways, welcome everybody to Weiss Camera Action, the show where I usually have my notes up, but I completely forgot. I am your host, Aaron Weiss, alongside my wife, Erica J. Weiss.
Hello, everybody. I wonder if that's what Aaron normally says at that point, or if he's supposed to say something else.
Who knows?
That was good.
I'm also alongside, as usual, Alex Weiss.
My own brother.
My own brother, Alex Weiss.
Let's get to it.
But no banter needed, no banter necessary.
Well, I
Hey.
mean, I think we're all excited to talk about the movie. So what do we need to do to rile ourselves up? Talk about
You're right. Let me
something
just
else?
get the housekeeping really quick, and
Okay.
then of course, this is Weiss Camera Action show. Each and every month, we three Weisses watch and review a bona fide classic. Each month, we take turns picking the movie, then we will watch it, share our brief thoughts, recap it, analyze it, critique it, and see if the movie's status as a classic is justified or not. Each episode ends with the chooser of next movie presenting and defending their pick. This month, we watched A Raisin in the Sun. Before we get into the plot, Erica, will you remind us why you picked this movie?
Absolutely. So I was trying to find older movies that maybe I had never heard of, or I had like vaguely heard of. I didn't know what they were about. So the older movies that came to mind, I wanted to choose for March, I chose Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf because I was interested in a Elizabeth Taylor film. I chose A Raisin in the Sun, again, a movie I'd always heard of but didn't know what it was about, because I wanted kind of, I don't know if historical fiction is even the right word for this, but I wanted something that kind of highlighted Black history in a way, and like specifically Black history in the middle of the not 19th century, the middle of the 20th century in America. And I loved how this movie actually ended up really representing that perfectly.
It's definitely a slice of history.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think historical fiction would be like it could have happened, but it didn't. I don't know.
Yeah. I think that this kind of does fall into that, but it doesn't have like when I think of historical fictions, I think of like a war movie, or I think of something that like really references like a very specific moment in history, and this doesn't necessarily do that, but I still think it is, maybe it's more like slice of life. What do you even call this genre? I don't know.
I don't see why it couldn't be both.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it very well could have happened. This is like something that life looked very similar for, hundreds of thousands of maybe millions of Black families when this took place. So yeah, and I did want like a historical fiction, and because I always think of war movies as being historical fiction, I'm so sorry, I just thought of exactly what the genre is.
Just so you know, as I was talking, Aaron put his hand to cover the mic, so I had to stop.
I didn't mean to cover them.
I'm just trying to say I don't like war movies, so I wanted to find a historical fiction that was not a war movie, and this was perfect.
So here's the thing. It's not historical fiction because it takes place around the same time that it was set, like, or it came out. So it would be contemporary realistic fiction.
Oh, good. I'm glad you said that. That's exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for explaining that to the English major and whatever I am.
Happy to be here.
Am I leaning into the mic too much?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I think
we can get this later, but was it set in 1950? Because I I think the play was,
The
or
play was set in the 50s, I believe.
okay.
So I'm assuming that the movie was too.
In my head, we were in the 50s. Yeah, but I'm not
I
positive.
know it was released in 61, so it would have been very contemporary feeling.
What's that different about 1961 versus 1959?
Exactly. Not much. Both boomer generations.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, Erica, I think this was a very good pick. Just like kind of give my brief initial thoughts. I had read the play in college, and I actually wrote an essay on it, comparing and contrasting another short story by Toni Morrison called Recitative. And the stories aren't super similar, but they both have to do with like contemporary realistic fiction during the civil rights era. And yeah, I mean, I don't think I had seen this movie. I had just read the play, and I was like blown away by like every performance. Like each actor really brought their A game. Like it was so good.
Hey, at the end of the show or episode, I'd like to name the MVP. Everyone name
Okay.
the MVP.
Oh, I need to think of my MVP because I have a few that come to mind, but yeah, I don't know who I'm going to choose. I have a favorite character for sure. Do I have a favorite character?
I wonder if we have the same one.
I mean, I feel like knowing who I usually go for a favorite character, no one should be surprised who I'll say, but I'll save it for later. Should I share my initial thoughts? Yeah. I thought that this was a really great movie. We always split our movies up into 2 nights. And this was one movie where we went well past the halfway mark on night 1. And I was on the edge of my seat. It's not even like a super suspenseful movie necessarily. It's not like a thriller or like it's not supposed to be suspenseful at all. But I was on the edge of my seat. Like, what is going to happen to this family? And I was always so concerned for them. And I was concerned about how are the dynamics going to play out? And is this character going to get his life together, or is he going to keep making bad choices? And is this character going to start being a little bit more compassionate? And are they going to face the racism I'm scared they're going to face? And all this kind of stuff. Like, I was really invested. And that's one of my favorite things about a movie is when each individual character is so well written and has a unique perspective. I think it can be a little bit boring when it's like good guy, bad guy, and it's kind of like black and white like that. Whereas this just felt like each character was so nuanced, and I love that. I'm like a character-driven person for sure. So I love that about this.
It made me more interested in watching like more true drama films.
Yeah, because like I'd say probably the last 30 or 40 years, a drama film is like, I don't know how to explain it. Something like Good Will Hunting, which is great, but I feel like there's also like a quarter to a fifth of it is comedy. Like there was comedy in this, but I feel like it was all character based and not like really trying to make you, I don't know, make you laugh.
Yeah, there were a few moments that I did laugh at, but that's because in this dramatic film, there are funny characters. It's not really because it was a funny film, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've actually never seen Good Will Hunting.
How have we not watched it?
I don't know, because you love that movie.
Well,
I think we're always nervous for you to show me a movie that you really love, because twice that you've done that, I didn't like it.
Wait, what was the second time?
It was The Departed, and it was that Western movie with Haley Steinfeld.
True Grit.
Yeah, she hated True Grit.
Don't let me get on my soapbox right now because y'all don't want to hear it. I'll hold on to that for a different episode.
We'll duke that out later.
Sounds good.
She makes good points about why she doesn't like it, but Anyways, Alec, what are your thoughts on A Raisin in the Sun?
Well, first off, I want to offer my apologies to the late Sidney Poitier for pronouncing his last name incorrectly last episode. It's Poitier, not Poitier. So my apologies.
Well, good for you for looking that up, because I would have been saying something way worse, way more incorrect than what you said.
I mean, it looks like Poitier if you're, just singular language like I am, but he's Bahamian or was Bahamian.
Oh, well, there you have it.
So, yeah, this was great. I had in the back of my mind something you said not last episode, 2 episodes ago, Erica, with Maltese Falcon, where like I'm trying to remember how you phrased it about dialogue can be help me out here. Dialogue can be action or something like that.
Oh, yeah. So we were talking about showing versus telling.
Yeah.
And so I was saying that dialogue is an example of showing, not telling, even though when someone's dialoguing, they're telling something, but it's actually showing.
Yeah. And I think this movie had it in spades.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I don't think they ever said what happened to Mr. Younger.
No, they
Did they?
didn't actually.
They just said that he passed away. Yeah.
And they made references to like, oh, he worked himself to death, but there was no actual story of what happened when he died.
And I don't remember if there is any clarification on that in the actual play. I do feel like the play in the movie is very close, if not exactly 1-to-1, like, very close to that.
But yeah, like Erica said, I was pretty gripped. Like I split it up in 2 nights. Didn't want to stop because I was like, where did I stop? I think I stopped right after they got the check. I was like, okay, what's gonna happen from here?
That's like right where we stopped, right?
Yeah, just about
an hour 5.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, right around there. Oh, Travis in that scene was a heart melter. Oh, I'm excited to talk about the plot. I'm really excited.
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right. So, members of the Younger family are anticipating a life insurance check in the amount of $10,000, and each of them has an idea as to what he or she would like to do with the money. Matriarch Lena Younger wants to buy a house to fulfill the dream she shared with her deceased husband. Walter Lee, her son, and also a limousine driver, would rather use the money to invest in a liquor store, including bribery to obtain the license, rather than use the money to
using bribery to obtain the license, believing the income
would put an end to the family's financial woes. Ruth, Walter's wife, wanting to provide more space and better opportunity for her young son Travis, agrees with Lena. Benitha, Lena's daughter, would like to use the money to pay for her medical school tuition. Lena spends $3,500 for a down payment on a house in the white neighborhood of Clybourne Park. And despite being agitated many times by Walter, gives him the remaining $6,500 and tells him to save $3,000 of it for Benitha's medical school and take the remaining $3,500 for his own investments. Meanwhile, Ruth discovers that this is a little out of order.
Yeah.
Ruth discovers that she is pregnant, and fearing another child will add to the financial pressures, considers having an abortion, even making a down payment for it. Walter voices no objection, but Lena is strongly against it, saying, "I thought we gave children life, not take it away from them."
I don't know if you want to get into anything yet, but not only does Walter not object, he just doesn't say anything.
I know, completely
walks out of the room.
Yeah. That I thought was a great moment to kind of show the similarities and differences between so they call Walter's dad Big Walter, and then they call the son Walter Lee. So I thought that was a good moment to show the difference between Big Walter and Walter Lee. There was a moment earlier on in the movie where Lena is talking about Big Walter and how, he had his problems and he could be angry and he could be this and he could be that. But one thing about Big Walter is that he always fought for his children and he was always there for his children and he loved his children more than anything. And how heartbroken he was because they didn't explain exactly what happened, whether it was a miscarriage or like early infant loss or what. But I guess Lena and Big Walter had lost a baby at some point. And so how heartbroken he was about that and how he was really never the same after that. And so I thought that was kind of a moment to, and I'm doing probably more analysis right now than I need to be doing, but I thought that was kind of a good moment to compare and contrast the two characters, that one was so heartbroken and distraught and never the same after losing a baby. And the other one was like indifferent at the thought of, him having a potential for a new baby because his wife is pregnant and being like, I don't care what you do with it. Yeah. A little bit rough.
Yeah, it was. I will say, like, not to get in too much into analysis, but Sidney Poitier's performance was so good. Most of the movie, he was hard to watch.
Yeah. Right. Did you just think he was kind of a jerk?
Yeah, I thought he was a jerk and just terrible to his family, and like just it was like painful, but like it was one of those performances where you're like, man, he's like really selling this.
He also didn't say a lot sometimes. Sometimes he would just sit there in silence and stare and like seethe, That
he was a good starer.
Yeah, that was almost just as hard to watch as listening to, some of the words that he said.
We can get back into it. Benitha, an aficionado of African history and culture, rejects her suitor, George, believing he is blind to the problems of their race. Her Nigerian classmate, Joseph Asagai, proposes to her, wanting to take her to Africa with him after they finish school, but she is unsure what to do. When their future neighbors find out that the Youngers are moving in, they send Mark Linder, known as Carl in the play,
and known as the evil man from the neighborhood in my notes,
from the Clybourne Park Improvement Association, to offer them money in return for staying away, but they refuse. Meanwhile, Walter loses the insurance money, including the money meant for Benitha's medical school, when one of his, quote, partners, unquote, in the liquor scheme, Willie Harris, skips town with the money.
Oh, goodness, that moment when he's like on his knees screaming, Willie! And the mom is like standing over him, like doing this like heartbroken soliloquy of despair. Oh my goodness, I was like jaw dropped, like, oh no, it was so bad.
It was
great. They did a great job like acting that out, and the scene was done perfectly, but it was so bad.
Yeah, that was like the climax of the movie, right? Like you kind of thought maybe the movie was coming to a climax right when Lena decided to give him the money, but no, it hadn't reached that peak yet.
And I had a bad feeling in my stomach the whole time because there was a part of the movie where like the music got really bright and happy and it looked like the birds were chirping and everything was going to work out great. And I was like, I'm sick to my stomach. I can't continue watching this. Oh, I was horrified.
Yeah, that was quite the scene. That was like everyone had really good performances up to that point of the movie, but that's when I guess it says Claudia McNeil's played Lena. Like the way that her and Sidney Poitier played off each other in that scene was just it was textbook. It was so good. everyone in the scene, like everyone in the family's in the scene, but like
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
feel like those two just really played well off of each other. Um, Desperate, Walter offers to take Lindner up on his offer to take the money to stay out of Clyburn Park, even while his family begs him not to sell away their dignity. When Lindner arrives, Walter has a last-minute change of heart and rejects Lindner's offer, giving a speech about how the family had fought racist oppression for 5 generations and will continue with the 6th generation, Travis. The Youngers eventually move out of their apartment, fulfilling their dream. The future seems uncertain and slightly dangerous, but they believe that they can succeed through optimism, determination, and remaining together as a family.
The future seems slightly dangerous. I'm like actually horrified for their lives, and I'm not saying that dramatically. Like I'm actually horrified for their actual lives.
Mm-hmm.
But sure, let's go with slightly dangerous. I like that better.
So, I think they kind of might have gotten mushed together in the summary, but he has a breakdown when the money is stolen, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then when he talks about his idea of just giving into what's his name?
Evil man.
Evil Man. That's like pretty soon afterwards, right?
I think that's the same day.
Yeah.
Same day, and it's like 2 impassioned speeches. But then there's the part afterwards. He goes back in the bedroom to think things over, and Benitha and Lena have a conversation, and Lena talks about how, like, I was trying to actually look up the quote, but I can't find it. She's like, "Do you feel bad for him, or are you sad for yourself because you didn't get what you want?"
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
That one.
That's when Benny is doing the whole he's no
Yeah.
brother of mine and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a moment where I thought, it just was a reminder of how nuanced all of it is. And like
Yeah.
certainly Benny was right. Like he was making bad decisions and lost them like 2/3 of their
Yeah.
insurance money, and then was like, you know what, let's just sell out and not care about fighting racism and whatever. So she was very right to be very mad at her brother in that moment, but also like that maternal instinct to be like, no, I need to still protect my son and realize that the reason he is acting like this is because he has been faced with systemic racism his entire life, and
Yeah.
the generations who have come before him have gone through the exact same thing, so it just was a good reminder that like even though Walter Lee is kind of like a anti-hero, kind of like portrayed in a bad light in this movie, he is still a sympathetic character at the end of the day because of all that he has gone through to make him get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really liked what Lena said, and I wish I could remember it verbatim, but it was something like, "You can't wait till he's all put together to start loving him."
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
Lena was like the dictionary definition of like tough love.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
But I think even just led with love.
Yeah.
A lot of times when people think of tough love, they don't think of like leading with like the love part, but I think she really did.
Or the emphasis was on tough and not love.
Yeah, exactly. She was really good. I will say, like, there were some parts in granted, this movie is shot like it's a recorded play, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, there's more camera movements than I would expect in a play, but yeah, it's kind of blocked like that.
Yeah, it definitely felt like more of a play. And I would say like maybe the main actor that made me feel more like it was a play was the actor playing Lena. Just the way she said some things, and
Yeah,
I'm sure she was more of a stage actor.
Claudia McNeil.
Yeah.
It was a very theatrical, dramatic performance for
Mhm.
sure.
But
Well,
she was-
Sidney Poitier got his start in the theater too, and I had that in the back of my mind. I was like,
Mhm.
I think he was
Yeah,
because
that doesn't surprise me actually.
just the way he acted.
yeah,
I mean, it was good, but like
Right.
I appreciate the way the stage actors are able to project themselves, and
hmm yeah. We can go on ahead and get into, I guess, a little bit more. We've already been kind of analyzing as it goes on.
I mean, you know, I have my pages of notes.
Yeah, Erica,
Ah,
do tell your notes, or
let me interject real quick. She was on Claudia McNeil played I don't know if it was the same part, but she was in Raisin in the Sun in the theater too.
Oh, it could have been the same part.
Okay, she played Lena at the Blackstone Theater in Chicago
That's really cool.
in '59. So she
well,
was a playwright or play actor.
yeah, that makes sense. I tend to take note of the first few shots of the film and the character introductions and what's going on there. This is the character introductions that we get, the very first ones. The alarm clock goes off. There's a man and a woman lying in the bed. The woman immediately gets up, turns off the alarm clock, and starts moving around the house. The man stays in bed asleep. Already, we're being told stuff about the characters just from that. I thought was done really well.
Yeah, and there's a little boy on the couch.
She gets up Travis and tells him at 7:30. Then she goes back to the man in the bed and says, Walter Lee, time to get up. And he does not want to get up, but she gets up Travis, the little boy, she gets up her husband. At one point, Walter Lee finally gets out of bed and he's like, well, why did you get me out of bed if Travis is already in the bathroom? So if I can't get in the bathroom, why am I not in bed? And she's like, well, how about I make your breakfast? How do you want your eggs? And he says, not scrambled. And then she immediately starts scrambling the eggs. And it's just I like that to kind of show yeah, they're somewhat a traditional husband and wife where she's making the breakfast and he's, doing other things around the house. But also there's maybe some tension between them and maybe they're not a perfectly happy couple. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to cook your breakfast, but I'm going to make sure I make it exactly how you don't want it. I just thought that was funny. And yeah, he starts talking about sorry, I'm getting distracted. I'm watching our child on the monitor roll around. I hope he's asleep. We shall see. He starts talking about how he has these dreams and he has a bigger vision for life and they're going to get out of this apartment and he's going to be an entrepreneur and all this stuff. Okay, this is when I start getting confused because suddenly there is another woman walking through the house trying to get into the bathroom and another person walking through the house trying to get to the bathroom. And I'm like, do they live on a hallway in this apartment building where there's a communal bathroom, but the communal bathroom happens to be in their apartment? I was so confused. And that's when I realized that the whole family, the grandma and the auntie and everyone all lives in one apartment. I didn't realize.
I think they do have an out a hallway communal bathroom because he had to beat the neighbor to the restroom, the male neighbor.
There was another neighbor?
Mhm.
Yeah, there was a male neighbor.
I thought I was completely losing it. I was like, who are all these random people? So there's a neighbor. That makes me feel a lot better. Anyway, so I bring all this up because I just like these character introductions that you don't know who all is living in the apartment. I guess I didn't know who all was living in the apartment either because I was confused about the male neighbor. But slowly but surely we get Ruth and then we get Travis and then we get Walter Lee and then we get Benny and Lena. And we just get little bits of their personality through it. And we get we get Benny say how she's going to be a doctor. And, immediately her brother is kind of snarky at her, oh, yeah, you're going to be a doctor or whatever. And so we kind of get she has these big dreams for herself and he has big dreams for himself, but he kind of puts down his sister's dreams and builds up his own dreams. And he takes himself seriously, but he doesn't take his sister seriously. I just thought that was all really well done, how the characters were introduced. So that's the first thing I want to say. I don't know if y'all had any thoughts about that, but something else funny about Benny and all her dreams for herself. She wants to be a doctor. She's also taking guitar lessons. She also used to take horseback riding lessons, but she quit that. And she's obsessed with Africa and her heritage in Africa. And even her one African friend does not really take her so seriously with that. She's like talking about how like Nigeria is like the homeland, and he's like, okay, girl, whatever. Like he just doesn't really take her seriously. He does buy her that outfit, which was very nice of him. No, I guess he didn't buy it. I guess he got it from his sister. But regardless, it's just kind of funny how people are like kind of like, all right, girl, you think whatever you want.
I wouldn't call. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I wouldn't call the insurance check a MacGuffin, but it's like the thing that drives the plot forward. Because I guess a MacGuffin can just be, I don't know. It's not a MacGuffin, is it, Aaron?
No, I don't think
I'm
so.
quickly Googling what's a MacGuffin.
MacGuffin is something that drives the plot forward.
Well, yes, it's a MacGuffin.
I mean, but the thing that the MacGuffin is doesn't really matter, right?
Right.
And it matters that it's a check.
Oh,
All I'm trying to say is that the way they introduced it and started talking about the check was just so natural, and like it wasn't like they said, I don't know, the exposition, the way they did exposition was good and natural.
yeah.
And I hate it when they just stop and it's like somebody stops and has a soliloquy and it's like, I am expecting a check. Yes, sir.
I was just thinking about, and I don't know if we've mentioned this already on the podcast or if it was something that Erica and I were talking about after we finished last night. But it's a little bit, it's later, definitely in the third act of the movie. It's the conversation between Benny and is it Joseph Asagai? James?
That's the guy.
That their conversation about like Benny being upset that all the money's gone, and Joseph just like really puts things into perspective. Like, you would not have had this money if your father was still alive. Like, you wouldn't have all these plans for non-existent money. Like, it just really kind of puts in, I think it really kind of changes her perspective a lot.
Right.
And
like, you can't be mad. Like, yeah, you can be mad at your brother, but
right.
like at the same time, this is not money that you should have wanted in the first place. Like, no one wanted the dad to die.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a very, like, I think that was a pretty powerful scene because, you know, the people, family members fighting over money is a, you know, like a timeless trope. And it just, because I don't know, was that his second scene? Was that Joseph Asagai's second scene, or is it okay?
He only has 2 scenes, I think.
Yeah. His first scene, I was like, whatever. He's like, he's okay. I didn't think too much of him, honestly. But that second scene, I was like, man, he's kind of like the voice of reason in this movie.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
And yeah, I was like, man, this is such a good message. Like, that's something that just really solidified it for me. Yeah.
Man, how about Walter Lee's character development at the end? That was probably my favorite thing. And it really stemmed from his mom not giving up on him.
Yep.
You know, because she had that moment right before he was about to tell the evil man, you know what, will actually take your offer. She was like, okay, well, you make sure that Travis stays in the room, and you look Travis in the eyes while you say this, and you make sure that your son knows that you are completely selling out and going to say you're going to side with racism, and you're going to take the money that's basically selling away our dignity. You look your son in the eye and you go ahead and do that. And it's like, you could see that moment where he's like, I'm going to choose to be like my dad and care about my child more than anything. And just to kind of juxtapose what we were talking about earlier, when he was really indifferent about Ruth's pregnancy, he took that moment to actually really care about his child and make sure that he made the right choice in front of his child. And I thought that was probably my favorite moment of the whole movie. And the speech he gave to that evil man was beautiful. It was like, wow, I was really moved by it.
I am going to draw a comparison, and you guys let me know if it's apt or not.
Okay.
Not. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So I would say Walter Lee definitely had the most dramatic character arc in the movie. I will say it seemed quick but not forced. Does that make sense? Like, because
I bought it. If that's the kind of
What'd you finish?
Well, I was just gonna say, like, you could kind of see flickers of his character change when he got the money from his mom. Just like he was very happy and upbeat and, you know, buying gifts, celebrating the house, that kind of thing.
You know what it really did? It built rapport between he and his mom.
It built rapport.
And I think that kind of helped him take her word later on. When he
exactly. And so the comparison I wanted to kind of draw, because he had that flicker of character change about halfway through the movie, 2/3 of the way through the movie, and then he kind of had that regression, and then he had that the switch flipped, and he was like where you wanted him to be at the end. That comparison, it really made me think of Prince Zuko's character arc in
Why
Avatar:
did
The
I
Last
have a feeling
Airbender.
that was going to come up? That's hilarious. Say everything.
At the end of book 2, he and Katara are imprisoned together, and
For the listeners who don't know, book 2 we're not talking about an actual book. The seasons of Avatar on TV are known as books rather than seasons. I'm saying that mainly for a certain listener who I know is out there who is probably like, I didn't know Avatar's a book. So
anyways,
my mom. Go ahead.
They're in prison together, and Zuko has been having this like internal battle like the whole second half of the season of like, is he good or is he bad? And Katara offers to heal a scar on his face, and he's like really considering it, and is like, you think that he's going to finally take the plunge and be on the side of good? And then his evil sister shows up and offers him what he's always wanted, and he turns on Katara and the rest of Team Avatar. And you think, oh man, he's done it. He's like plunged into darkness for good. But no, he still has this struggle throughout the third season or third book. And then he decides to betray his sister, his father, and fulfill his uncle's wish, and goes to join Team Avatar and becomes good and stays good and all that stuff. And obviously I'm comparing a TV show to a play/movie. TV shows have a lot longer to play with, like a character arc. But it really did feel like that almost false start with both Walter Lee and Zuko. So I just thought that was really cool.
Yeah, so the reason I thought that was going to come up is because I was thinking about how that was such a great example of a character arc and like character redemption. I think I even used that word when I was talking to you about it last night. And in my head, I'm like, well, the example of, you know, character redemption that Aaron always brings up is Zuko. So I was wondering. But you're right. I think in terms of like a character arc where it's like a character has like such a redeeming moment, and not just a moment, but you can tell like the character has like a true change of heart. I agree with that. Where the only place where I kind of like struggle with it, but I still can kind of see it as like, I don't think that Walter Lee was ever coming from a place of being like against his family. I think he thought he was for his family the whole time. Whereas Zuko like was against, he truly was against like the Avatar, and I guess Team Avatar is what you would call that group. That would probably be like the main difference I would bring up.
Of course.
But it doesn't have to be a perfect comparison, obviously. So yeah, I think that it's apt enough.
Alex, we've yapped quite a bit, and we haven't heard your thoughts. We need to hear your
the scene you were talking about with him talking with Travis at the end with Walter Lee. I could tell based on what he was saying that he had finally clicked what his mom had been telling him his whole life. Like, because you got snippets of her advice and her opinion throughout the whole movie, and it's kind of indirectly saying that she's been like drilling these lessons and these values into his head, and then for whatever reason I guess at his lowest point he finally decides to grow a spine.
Well, I like how you said his lowest point, because I think that Walter Lee hit rock bottom about 3 or 4 times throughout the movie. Like it kept like
one of his lowest
cutting
points.
to him at the bar, and he's drunk and he can't get up, and then it'll cut to him and he's in the house and he's yelling at people and being like mildly violent and throwing stuff, and I'm like, oh goodness, can't get much worse than this. And then by the end of the movie he's like, let's just sell out and give into racism, huh guys? And I'm like, oh golly, like he just has hit rock bottom after rock bottom. And again, through all of that I found him to be a sympathetic character because of what he came from that made him be like that, you know what I mean? Even when I completely disagreed with everything he was doing, I still felt bad for him. I think that's kind of like what Lena was trying to get at the end with Benny, you know, like even though he's acting poorly and making really poor decisions, I still feel for him. But yeah, his lowest point, his lowest point that has somehow lower than all the other low points.
Well, I think the thing that sets it apart is like, had he decided to take the money, he probably would have really betrayed the trust of his family and hurt their relationship. Yep.
And I like that Lena gave him that choice.
Yeah.
Because when the evil man came in, he said, who should I correspond with? He didn't say Lena or Walter Lee. I think he said Mrs. Younger or your son. And Lena could have said, oh, only talk to me about it. Do not talk to my son. And that would have been well within her right, because, you know, she's the name on the house. But she was like, do you know what? I'm going to hand it over to Walter Lee one more time. Walter Lee, you take the mic and you tell the man what we're going to do, which was very bold of her after she had given him all that money and he blew it. She really did not need to give him the mic again. And she did. And she let him come into his own.
It's also a good parenting move, I think. Like when your parent, I mean, like maybe I don't know your parents as well as I know my own, Erica, so maybe it only applies to me and Aaron. But you have great parents. I'm not saying that.
Shout out to my parents.
Shout out to them. But I think a mark of a good parent is when they say, I trust you to do the right thing, and then like you kind of have to because they're just staring at you, and you're like, I don't want to mess this up. I know that Aaron, our dad, has done that multiple times with me, probably with you too, where you're like, should I do this? Is it okay? I trust you to do the right thing. I just want to know what to do.
And then he's watching from the bushes with binoculars to make sure it is the right thing.
Is he going to take the 30 pieces of silver or not?
They even say that in the...
Yeah, I know. That's why I said it.
Yeah.
Beneath it says it.
Man,
there are like Christian themes throughout the movie. I mean, like pretty overtly with the mom Lena being very religious and Benny being like, well, I don't even believe in God, Mom, and then she gets a little spanking for saying that.
Say in this house we believe in God.
Um, but yeah, but I guess that there are, just kind of like being stuck in, I don't want to necessarily say, I don't know how, like some kind of like just being stuck and kind of feeling the opportunity to find freedom is kind of like a Christian arc,
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Man, this was a great pick.
Thanks. This might have been one of my favorite films we've watched thus far.
Yeah.
Same.
All right. Well, I didn't super love Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, so I'm glad that I did pick a movie that I did really enjoy.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm excited that didn't we have the idea of ranking the movies at the end? Like,
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
maybe we can do our own individual rankings and then see where they net out or something. But
tier list.
That would be
is
fun.
there any Simpsons cultural significance?
I don't think so.
I didn't feel like there would be.
I mean, no, I think this is probably the first one I'll just give a 0.
I feel like if The Simpsons tried to touch this, it would be very bold of them, and they better they tread carefully if they were to.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to close that tab because there's a video and it's distracting me. I logged into Letterboxd. But you asked my further thoughts. I don't have anything to disagree with or to add a whole lot except that I meant to look up who the cinematographer was because I thought it was really good.
I got you.
You got me. Not that I know.
Charles Lawton Jr.
Yeah, wouldn't know him from Charles Lawton Sr.
He did. Let's see if there's anything. Did the original 310 to Yuma.
Okay.
Comanche Station.
Can't say I've heard of it.
That sounded familiar. That's why I said it. I don't know. The original 310 to Yuma is really the only movie that I had heard of aside from this.
I bring that up because there was so many, I'd say a good third to maybe even close to half. There was like 3 people in the scene, in the shot, and they could just have everybody in the shot talking. Like there was one specifically where I think it was Lena in the background in the kitchen. She was doing stuff, and then Walter was kind of in the middle, and then Ruth was a little closer to the camera, and they were all talking to each other, but the camera didn't have to cut it all for them to all talk. I really appreciate stuff like that because it brings out the actors' performances, and you don't have to build a performance based on editing, which once you find out that happens, you can kind of ruin things.
You're a lot better at picking up on that kind of thing, like camera movement and like the way a scene is shot. I don't even notice that kind of stuff whatsoever. But that's cool that you bring that up. I wouldn't have thought to bring it up. Oh, do you know what I did forget to bring up? My favorite moment from Travis was when the grandma is like, Travis, look at this check and tell me if it's the correct number of zeros. And he looks at it and he looks up at her and he goes, "Yes, ma'am, that's $10,000. Gee, Grandma, you're rich." That was so cute. Like he just was so enthusiastic about it. It was so cute to me. I thought he was so precious. And also, I'm a teacher and I teach students around his age. And so I just have like a soft spot for like the mid-elementary age. It was very cute.
He was a very cute kid.
Oh, I also liked when they moved went to the new house to visit it, and he's like looking out the window and smiling and waving, like so happy to be there. Oh my goodness, precious child.
I had one, I guess, one comparison slash analysis before we get to a piece of trivia and our final thoughts.
Sure.
Um, during the, I mean, this is not the best comparison, not even probably an equal comparison, but like, um, I haven't watched a whole lot of movies from the early 60s or late 50s, and let alone contemporary realistic dramas. But like the um I kind of kept thinking like I kept thinking about like sitcoms of the time, because that's about the only thing I've seen in that era, and just how well buttoned up and clean cut everything is, and like everything's like easy morals and very
Hmm.
simple. I was thinking specifically of Leave It to Beaver, where everything is like resolved very easily, and then with Raisin the Sun, it's like, I mean, it's obviously a movie and a play, but like there's a real struggle and it's a lot more realistic. And I appreciate that over the golly gee, we got this wrapped up in 25 minutes plus commercials.
Hmm.
Yeah. There's always an undercurrent of there being strife in this movie.
Yeah.
Like even at the last moment when things wrap up really nicely, like you still worry for the family going forward. Like there's always that strife.
Mm-hmm. You guys ready for the trivia?
Yeah,
I'm ready
hit
for the
us.
trivia.
Do you know, if you don't know his name, the his most famous character, the actor who played Evil Man,
I don't know who it is.
Piglet?
Oh, he's Piglet, as in Winnie the Pooh and Piglet.
Oh,
I thought
I
his
thought
voice
his voice was very distinct, but I didn't
Yeah.
know.
it felt very familiar, yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, he might go like a little higher for Piglet, but I looked it up. It's him.
That's crazy.
That is very funny. Oh. All right, we're looking at his Wikipedia really quick.
Huh.
So
Born in Wisconsin.
there you have it. Well, how about that? That is very interesting. I would have never guessed that. All right. Should we share, Alex, who was your
Oh yeah,
MVP and who was my favorite character? And Aaron, if you have anything
Yeah.
of the like to share?
yeah.
Alex, go ahead.
You want mine first?
Yeah.
Are we talking actor or character?
Well, you just said that you had an MVP. So whoever
Oh
you
yeah,
were going to bring up, I would like to hear about.
my MVP was Lena.
Yeah. Yeah. Well deserved.
She was incredible.
I think in terms of the acting and the character, she was probably MVP for both.
Mm-hmm.
Like her character kept the family together and the acting was like phenomenal.
Yeah, I won't. I'm not gonna say the other female leads were bad, because they weren't. They were good, but like she probably, like, the only person that surpassed Sidney Poitier was her.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I
And
agree.
it was a really close race. Like they were very equally matched. They
Mhm.
were believable as mother and son.
Yes, I totally agree. My favorite character, no one is surprised to hear me say it was Benny.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. I thought she was so funny. Every time
She
she said
was.
anything or started dancing or got on a soapbox of any sort, I was just giggling because I thought it was so funny. I also liked other people's reactions to her. Like when she was like, "Mom, why are you packing up a plant, that dead, ugly plant to take it to the new house?" And the mom's like, "Okay, well, it's my form of self-expression." Because like Benny was always talking about her forms of self-expression. I just really enjoyed her. And I liked that she was kind of like a little bit of like the family rebel in a way where she was like, I'm going to be the one to say I'm going to go out and be a doctor, and all of y'all are doing the same old jobs you've always had. Well, I'm going to be a doctor. Oh, and also y'all all have the same belief. Well, guess what? I'm going to have a different belief. And it just kind of seemed like rebel without a cause kind of thing.
Mhm.
And I just thought it was funny and enjoyable, but also that she was sincere in being like, I really care about civil rights. I really care about being like socially aware and learning more about Africa because our ancestry is from Africa. And even though people kind of brushed her off and didn't take her seriously, I did find her endearing and sincere.
Yeah.
So I just like, I thought she was my favorite character. I'm not going to say I thought she was the best character, but she was my personal favorite. I'm allowed to have a favorite who I know is not going to win number one.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
Did anybody else think it was weird? I mean, this is probably just a young people thing that they were like nailing boards onto a wooden box to pack.
Yes.
Like, that's how they packed.
I was like, y'all don't got some tape.
Or cardboard.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, just sign of the times. They had crates. Well, they had some boxes, but they also had a crate. Let's see. Yeah, I thought both characters, Lena and Benita, were incredible. Shout out to Travis.
Yeah.
He was so he played that role with like such like childlike wonder, and it helps. He definitely, was a child, but he really kind of sold that role, and he was really good. I think
Kept wondering where he was going to whenever they sent him away.
I know. I think it was just convenient to have him out of the room.
Yeah.
Go downstairs. What's downstairs?
I mean, there's a lot of really heavy scenes that would have been heavier if he was just like sitting on the couch or something. Just like, oh man, they're having this dialogue in front of a 9-year-old or however old.
Yeah.
Also, if thought there was protecting the actual child from having to like be a part of certain scenes that were really heavy, I also totally support that for the sake of the actual actor.
Yeah.
So did you say who your MVP was, Aaron?
I'm going with Travis.
Okay.
Period.
I like that kid.
I like how there's no wrong answers. The only wrong answer is the evil man or Willie.
Willie MVP.
Willie wasn't even a character. Did they ever show him?
They showed
At
him
the bar that one time when
Okay.
the three of them were talking.
The first time that they showed Walter Lee in the bar. Yeah.
Okay. Real quick before we have to log off, does anybody have a favorite line? There were so many good lines.
The golly, grandma, we're rich, that I already shared. That was a line that just tickled me. Also, how do you want your eggs? Not scrambled. And then immediately start scrambling. I don't have any deep lines that are my favorite. They're all just the ones that put a smile on my face.
I don't know if I have any specific lines, but I liked the cadence in which Lena spoke. It was very like theatrical, and I really liked it. She definitely spoke like a grandmotherly figure.
Yeah, I really liked. Sorry, it's not that funny, but I'm just laughing thinking about it. I like, damn these eggs, damn all the eggs.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good.
That's a really funny line. I gotta choose my next movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The next movie is. Oh wait, before I do that, ladies and gentlemen, that was A Raisin in the Sun. Very good movie. Highly recommend watching it.
I never explained the title.
Do not watch the 2008 remake
with Sean P. Diddy Combs.
With nice try, Diddy.
I was gonna say there needs to be a trigger warning before that name is shared publicly.
Okay, he really is the lead.
No,
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Aaron told me, and he was like trying to make me guess who could it possibly be. I would have never thought of him in a million years.
Although I will say, Felicia Rashad playing Lena, incredible casting. She's the mom on the Cosby Show, and also Gus's mom in Psych.
Gorgeous.
So what you're saying is I can splice in Sidney Poitier with Felicia Rashad and get the
Put both movies into Claude and have them splice in Felicia Rashad.
No.
Oh, goodness.
Anyways, great movie. Watch the 1961 version. It definitely should have gotten awards, but it probably did not because racism.
Right.
Well, Sidney Poitier got his Academy Award for his next movie, Lilies of the Field, 63.
Oh,
Awesome.
was he the first black man ever to get a Academy Award?
I don't know about the first, but maybe the first in a leading role.
No, yeah, he's excellent. I really think he could. I don't even think he got nominated for this. Like he definitely should have been. Like him and Lena both. Anyways, watch it. Very good movie. If you want to do a free trial of this weird new app called Howdy, you can watch it there.
Oh, I have a bone to pick with you about that.
Why?
Free trial, it charged me $3.
Huh.
And then I found 3 uploads on YouTube of the full movie.
Oh, I didn't even look on YouTube.
I was looking for a
try out
review.
Howdy to mixed results. It could work or it could not.
There's some decent stuff on Howdy though, so $3 for 1 month, I guess.
Yep. Anyways,
the next
check it
movie,
out.
we're doing a little bit of this will be the newest movie of our watching, and it's still not that new. It's still 56 years old, 55 years old.
Tell us.
The French Connection.
All right.
Starring Gene Hackman.
Oh yeah. I've heard of him.
This is the movie that got him an Oscar.
Ooh.
So
is that your reason for picking it?
That's part of my reason for picking it. My other part of the reason is it also has Roy Schneider, who is in Jaws. I think this is also this
a
movie
neo-noir.
Yep, won 5 Oscars. Won Best Picture, Gene Hackman an Oscar, Best Director, Best Screenplay as Adapted, and Best Editing. And it was nominated for Best Supporting Actor, Best Cinematography, and Best Sound. I love a good noir / neo-noir movie. I love a good hard-boiled cop. And Gene Hackman is all of those things in this movie.
Why is his name Popeye?
Popeye?
His name is Jimmy Popeye Doyle.
Oh, that doesn't show on IMDb.
Every time y'all start talking about hard-boiled this, hard-boiled that, oh, noir this, noir that, I'm like, okay, so are we talking about eating eggs and drinking a glass of wine, or what is going on? Like, I literally never know what y'all are talking about, and I just sit there and smile because I'm like, I'm sure that the film people out there who are listening know,
that
and
was
I never
kind
know.
of the theme for most of my movie picks, right? Like,
and y'all have said it a lot throughout the Weiss camera action.
It's
year.
just like the kind of gruff, like, lone wolf almost. Like, think
kind
back,
of morally gray.
Morally gray. Think back to French Connection.
Don't
Not French
confuse
Connection,
morally gray with noir,
Maltese,
because they mean
Maltese
the same
Falcon.
thing.
Maltese Falcon, yeah.
Yeah, just that's kind of what it's talking about. Like,
I just think it's funny that every time y'all pull out those terms, I have a very clear image in my head of a plate of boiled eggs and a glass of red wine. and then I'm out of the conversation. I don't know what's going on after that.
Did we watch The French Connection 2 instead?
There's a sequel?
Yeah.
No, we're gonna watch the one with Gene Hackman.
This has Gene Hackman too.
Oh, we're gonna watch the Academy Award winning one.
Okay.
We can watch the sequel as a bonus episode someday.
The bonus episode with 12 movies in it.
But yeah, that's my pick. We will probably, let's see, today is the 29th of July. This will probably be going up, this will definitely be going up before the end of the week. It might go up on the 31st, But yeah. So we'll be posting around the same time next month, probably.
It's just easier to
Yeah.
do it at
Wait
the end
till
of the
the
month.
last second.
Kids, man.
Yep.
Alex, this is your monthly reminder not to watch it too early in the month.
All right, I'm gonna watch the French Connection 1 and 2 then.
And then maybe we can come up with a plot for French Connection 3.
French Connection 3, French Harder.
More connected. Does anyone remember the final line of the movie?
This is the stuff dreams are made of. No, wrong movie.
Was it Lena? Because she said something about how proud she was of him, but I don't remember what.
I'm just gonna say, golly gee, Grandma, you're rich.
Noodles.
Doodles.